With the launch of Sony's PlayStation 5 came a new PlayStation controller, the DualSense, and it's regarded by many as one of the best controllers of all time. With its improved ergonomics and hardware, it's easy to see why. However, its textured, grippier plastic and white color have made it prone to showing dirt and sticky residue a lot easier than the previous DualShock 4 and DualShock 3 respectively. Let me show you the easiest way I found to achieve a deep clean, disinfecting it, and all this without disassembling the controller. So welcome everyone to the first of many PlayStation 5 tutorials. Along the way, I'll show you how to fix a few common issues you may run into with having a dirty controller, such as fixing sticky buttons, charging issues, and a few others. There's a lot to get through, so let's get started. This tutorial is going to be broken down into 5 main parts, and all you're really going to need is a microfiber towel, a few cotton swabs, a toothpick, isopropyl alcohol that's as close to 100% as possible. I'm using 91% for this video, so it should be fine for this tutorial. A few optional items you may want to consider are an empty spray bottle, like this one, a little container or something similar like this, and lastly, a can of compressed air. Links to everything you need will be down in the video description below. As with any tutorial, there are countless ways to do something. These are just the methods that I found that have given me the best results. If you have any other tips or tricks I didn't cover in this video or found a new one that worked for you, let me know in the comments down below. For now, let's dive right into the first part. We're going to start by removing the bulk and dust and dirt that we see. There's also some dried up chocolate or sticky candy residue, or at least that's what I hope it is. Best way to approach this is by taking a microfiber towel and directly dampening it with some isopropyl alcohol. Having some poured into a spray bottle like this helps, but you can always do it the old-fashioned way like this. I'm sticking with the spray bottle because it's quicker and easier for me. Anyway, take your lightly damped microfiber towel and just give the controller a good wipe down. Once your towel gets a little dirty, simply flip it to a clean side and repeat the process until you're happy with your results. Aside from being one of the safest liquids you can use to clean electronics, it also helps lift up any dirt and debris that's stuck on there, disinfecting the controller as you're cleaning, and most importantly, dry off quickly on its own. It also breaks down any sticky residue like this questionable chocolate stain, candy, sticker residue, and so on. The microfiber towel will help trap the debris better than a normal towel and reduce the chances of scratches while cleaning. Alright, this is starting to look much better than when we started, but you can still see a lot of dust in between the button gaps and other parts that the microfiber towel was just not able to get to. It's all about the details when it comes to cleaning, so let's take care of those next. Cleaning the button gaps is pretty easy. All you need for this part is a cotton swab dipped into the isopropyl alcohol. You can do it the old-fashioned way like this, or what I like to do is to pour some out into a small container of sorts. This is a DSLR lens cap, but really anything can work. This is just my preferred method. Now take your dipped cotton swab and squish it as flat as you can with your fingers. This will allow you to go deeper into the button gap for a more complete clean. Cleaning the gaps is a great place to start if you're having sticky or unresponsive buttons. The isopropyl alcohol breaks down any sticky residue and dirt that causes your controller to drag or get stuck inside your DualSense controller. Just like cleaning the button gaps, take your cotton swab that was dipped into the isopropyl alcohol and give the thumbsticks a good scrub. If you're suffering from sticky thumbsticks or feel it snag as it gets older, it's usually the buildup of dirt and debris that gets stuck in there. It helps if you turn your thumbsticks around to expose more of the base for a better clean. You can also remove any candy or stuck residue that gets stuck in the rubber tops of these controllers with the cotton swab as well. The touchpad has bigger gaps where a bunch of gunk likes to accumulate over time. Giving it a good wipe down in between the gaps like we did with the button gaps will definitely help. While we're here, let's take care of these two buttons as well. The trigger buttons were pretty clean from the wipe down, but an often overlooked spot is the gaps in between the controller shell and the gaps in between the triggers themselves. So cleaning them with the cotton swab should remove that gritty feeling you may be having with your triggers. Usually it's caused by a buildup of debris or just food particles getting stuck inside. There are two main ports we're going to focus on the DualSense controller. That's going to be the headphone jack port and the Type-C charging port. Just like we did with the button gaps, take a cotton swab that was dipped into the isopropyl alcohol and flatten it with your fingers. And then just give the Type-C charging port a good scrub. This will help clean the pins and allow it to make better contact with your charging cable. This trick worked for some of my viewers in the last video I uploaded, where I showed you how to fix any Nintendo Switch that won't power on or charge. So go ahead and check out that video if you haven't already. Link to it will be down in the video description below. You can speed up the drying time by using compressed air or by just leaving it to evaporate by itself for a few moments before charging. The headphone jack port is a little different. You're going to take your cotton swab and gently twist it in. Don't force it. Just a very light amount of pressure will be more than enough to reach the contact points inside. While we're here, go ahead and clean the EXT port pins. You can see how quickly the isopropyl alcohol starts to evaporate, but you can always speed up the drying time by giving it a few sprays of the compressed air. There's an often overlooked part when cleaning the controller, and that's the gaps where both halves of the controller meet. This one doesn't really have any dusty, crusty gunk that tends to cake on. Most of it got removed while we were doing the general wipe down. This old controller is a good example of what I'm talking about, but if your PlayStation 5 DualSense controller does have anything stuck in between the gaps, taking a wooden toothpick and running it along the gaps will take care of it. Let's give the controller one final wipe down just like we did at the start of the tutorial, to get rid of any loose dust or debris that may have popped up from the cleaning. Thank you all for tuning in, and a special shout out to everyone that's given me a super like. You guys are epic, and I greatly appreciate your support and generosity. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tutorials, gaming, and tech videos, and until next time, this has been GTRBytes.